So I got asked to do this interview about why tail draggers. So to introduce myself, I'm Kristen. I'm just a simple girl. Seriously, I love my family, I love God, I love to fly. I'm a stay-at-home mom. 15 years ago, while I was on a date with this one guy, I told him of my dream to fly airplanes someday. And I married that man 5 months later. And after a while, we had 2 beautiful daughters, and these 3 amazing people are the most supportive, most important people in my life. And they put up with me and all my crazy dreams that I have and let me become a pilot. So I was asked, why did I learn to fly in a tail dragger? Well, honestly, it was completely by accident. I was always sitting at home and I would see these cool little yellow airplanes flying above my house, and it sparked that dream that I had of learning to fly one day. And I mean, it'd been like decades, you know, since I had this dream, and it just like sparked that fresh again. And so I looked it up, and I live in a small town way outside the city. It's just a dinky little town. And who would have known there's a flight school in my little town of Hood River, Oregon. And so I went there one day and told them I wanted to learn to fly. They signed me up for an intro flight. The school is TAC Aero, and I had no idea they were like the backcountry tailwheel flight school like ever. They're the best, and they happen to be right here, right by my house. So completely by accident did I learn to fly in a tailwheel. I'd hit the jackpot. They have awesome airplanes, tons of little yellow cubs that I saw flying around, and awesome instructors, and so there you go. So they asked what excited me most about flying tail draggers. Well, flying tailwheel, it gives you a behind-the-scenes, full access pass to this insane backcountry experience, and you just get to escape the earth and the tangles of the world and just go off on your own. I don't need an airport. I don't need pavement. I just need a fairly flat-ish area, and I can land an airplane. How cool is that? It's just the best. So what scares me the most about flying tail draggers, they asked. Flying tail draggers does not scare me. Maybe it should, but I mean, stick and rudder skills are so important. And of course, just being aware of all things related to your flight and the airplane you're flying, obviously, that's the most important thing. I know they talk about ground loops and this and that, and it's not if it'll happen, but when. I'm just not afraid. I feel like I've got a leg up with my rudder skills, and if it happens, it happens, and I don't live in fear. I do live in fear of towered airports, though. It has nothing to do with tail draggers, but I learned at a non-towered airfield, and so I'm just like terrified of towered airfields. But you know, I'll work on that. Always stuff to work on. Okay, so they asked, what do you think that a tail dragger can teach you that flying a nose dragger cannot? I had no idea the difference between a nose wheel aircraft and a tailwheel aircraft when I first started flying. So I'm completely ignorant of this whole subject. I can't answer the question. I did my entire private pilot's training in a tailwheel airplane, and I can't answer this question. So let's move on. Has flying a tail dragger taught you a lesson about yourself, and what is that lesson? Yes, it has taught me a lesson. I only want a backcountry airplane that affords me access to all the fantastic bush flying experiences that there are. And there's a zillion. There's so many places and things and just sights to see and places to land and places where cars can't go, or a nose wheel airplane. Maybe, okay, I know that's a debate, whatever. You can debate it. But for that reason, I learned I'm definitely a tail dragger pilot for life. That's it. If someone told you that they wanted to learn to fly in a tail dragger, they asked me, but flight schools had told them that you had to learn in a nose wheel first before converting to tailwheel, what would you say to them? Well, I'm sure it would be way easier and take way less time to learn in a nose wheel, so I've heard. But I see all these people who've had their pilot's license for years and go get their tailwheel endorsement, and I guarantee I've got better stick and rudder skills all day long. I don't know. It's all I know. And for that, I'm just so grateful, actually. I'm just so grateful for that. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm so happy I went to a tailwheel flight school and learn that intense rudder dance that you have to do all the way down to shutdown of the airplane. It's all I know, and I'm just so grateful I didn't have to go. I started off really hard, so maybe if I fly a nose wheel aircraft, it will seem easy. I don't know, but I hear the other way around is brutal, going from nose wheel to tail wheel. I don't know. But I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I recommend it. Stick it through. It might be a little harder. It might take a little longer. It might be a little more frustrating, but stick it through and you will be so proud of yourself. And people will be like, what the what? You learned on a tail dragger? So it's cool. And then last question, why should pilots learn to fly a tail dragger? Why should they fly a tail wheel? Well, okay, here's the deal. A few weeks ago, I got to fly a Cub Crafters new Carbon Cub FX2 tailwheel airplane with 29-inch bush tires and like crazy shocks, and it makes you feel so good about every landing, like you're just landing on pillows. And we went down into this canyon in between all these like rocky cliffs, and there's the Deschutes River running through it, and just a luscious meadow, and just, you know, there's some rocks over here and there's some flowers over here, and we found a nice little, you know, little path that we could put that airplane down on the ground, and we got her down, we got out of the airplane, and just the sound of that rushing river going through, and just the sights, and just peering up these like steep cliffs, you know, mountainsides, and we got our fly fishing pole out, and I learned to fly fish that day. And that's cool. That's why you should learn to fly a tail dragger. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.